Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 11th year of the CITRIS Research Exchange seminar series. My name is Janet Gobian Inigas. I'm an assistant professor of mechanical engineering at UC Merced, and I'll be your moderator for today. We have hosted a remarkable lineup of technology innovators in person at Satarja Dai Hall, and we're glad to see you all joining virtually today for the Fall 2022 series. So before I introduce the speaker, I have a series of announcements and housekeeping for the talk today. So please post all your questions in the Q&A box on Zoom. You should see a Q&A icon in the Zoom toolbar underneath your screen. Clicking the thumbs up on a question will help bring it to the top of the Q&A window, and questions will be addressed at the end of the talk. And so without further ado, allow me to introduce our speaker. Andre Cheung is the founder and CEO of RoboticsCats, a climate tech startup based in Asia. RoboticsCats develops AI wildfire detection technology to help government and business customers in 13 countries mitigate forest fire risk and damages. Andre is overseeing the business and product development of the company. Before he founded RoboticsCats in Hong Kong 3 years ago, Andre devoted his career to the internet infrastructure and software as a service industries, focusing on North and Southeast Asia markets. He worked at leading US-based technology companies, previously including Level 3 Communications, Cisco Systems, and Verizon Digital Media Services. Andre holds a bachelor's degree in computer engineering from the University of Hong Kong, and he will share today the stories about his customers who use information technology to adapt to climate and increasing wildfire risk environments. And so without further ado, it is my great honor to welcome Andre Cheung.
Thank you, Janet. And let me share my screen. All set. It's okay. Good. And good afternoon. Thank you for having me. And I'm Andre, and founder and CEO of RoboticsCats. And thanks, Professor Janet Gobian, for the intro. It is my pleasure to speak in the CITRIS Research Exchange webinar. Today, we will talk about some stories of customers using wildfire detection technologies. Customer like the city in this photo. It is Barra do Gás in Midwest Brazil. This is a beautiful city, and behind the Christ the Redeemer statue on the hilltop, it is a national park. And in front of it is a city area. Further away are many farming sites. People love the scenery, and we should protect it from wildfires. Similar to other violent urban interface, it is a high fire risk area. There were 3 fires in this photo. Don't worry, we are using technology to detect and monitor the fires and keep things under control. We will talk more about it today. We will talk about 5 customer stories and see some great photos. The customer located at different countries and do different things. There's one thing in common. They face increasing wildfire risk and they deploy information technologies to adapt to the changing environment. We will talk about them from a startup perspective, how early customers work together with startups to innovate. I hope you will enjoy it. Before we talk about our customers, please let me do a quick introduction about ourselves. We are based in Asia, a team of 5 people. I'm based in Hong Kong, and Paul is my co-founder, and he's living in Australia. We are solving the wildfire problem. We use computer vision, AI, and IoT technologies to build our solutions. CAT. That's why we call ourselves RoboticsCats. And yes, many of the team, including myself, are cat people. We are active members of startup communities in the US, leading cities, Santa Cruz World, Mars Challenge. Like CITRIS, they help us to grow our presence in the US market. With climate change, forest fire burn faster and bigger. These photos are the Washburn fire last July near Yosemite National Park. The bigger photo was taken on 7 July, 2:54 p.m. The fire was just started. The lower left one was taken 24 hours later. The fire was big and out of control. Washburn fire at the end burned 3 weeks and 4,800 acres of forests. What can we do? The images are from a public CCTV system funded by PG&E. Last week, Sumit Singh of PG&E shared it in the Research Exchange webinar how PG&E, a major energy company, is using technologies to mitigate wildfire problems. Today, we will talk about other industries. Forest fire is a global problem. This map is a summary of last year. This year, we have even bigger wildfires in France and Spain. Wildfires makes losers who lost their business, assets, and homes. The good news is we know the solutions. Universities and research centers around the world identify these 6 areas that can effectively mitigate the wildfire problem. Camera-based AI wildfire detection is one of them. It has a distinctive character when compared to others. While other solutions take weeks or months to make impact, AI wildfire detections can help immediately. And my team devoted ourselves to develop AI solutions to use high-performance purple beam cameras to help government agencies to detect early-stage wildfires. It uses both visual and thermal cameras. It is fast and accurate. It looks cool, and it is costly. Government in Hong Kong, Thailand, Indonesia, and Portugal are using our product. We learned one thing in our journey. Government loans are not enough to solve the wildfire problem. They don't own and manage all lands. They alone cannot change the world as far as climate change. We need to engage business and property owners to work together to mitigate wildfire problem. They want to help too. We receive inquiry from them, from Chile to Canada, from Korea to India, from South Africa to Sweden. They want to protect their forests and homes. They need their tools to early detect wildfire outbreaks. To make massive impact, we need to build a new tool that can roll out quickly. The best way is to add AI wildfire detection capability to existing camera infrastructure. So we designed out an AI wildfire detection software as a service that supports standard surveillance camera. The camera sends images periodically to our AI algorithm, and the system sends alerts to user via mobile apps and email. The detection is accurate and automatic. It is quick to deploy and easy to use. By supporting standard surveillance camera, it reduces the customer concern about vendor login, especially for conservative customers like government agencies, as pointed out by Professor Alison Post in her CITRIS Research Exchange webinar last month. So we have a good idea, and we need to develop it, and we were lucky we met our early customers at the early stage of the product development cycle. They are more than early customers. They join us to co-create the local product. With their participations, we build and improve the product faster and better. These customers are innovators. They are change agents, and they challenge status quo. Their stories are inspiring. Some of them want to protect life on land, and some want to improve the resilience of their business. All of them help reduce wildfire problems. And I believe you will like their stories. The first story is in Barra do Gás in Midwest Brazil. We saw it at the beginning slides. It is a tourist and agricultural city, a good combination for years. However, climate change brings conflicts. The farmers control burns in their farming process. Becomes uncontrollable sometimes. The city needs fast detections to gain back control. The red dot on the map is the city. It is a satellite view. Above the red dot is the national park. The national park deploy our lookout service to detect fires in the red area. The red area is the city and the farmlands. The national park share the wildfire detection alerts with the city firefighting team. The farmers do control burns to clean the farmlands very often. There are 5 fires in this photo. Sometimes the fires grow out of control and cause dangers to the city and the national park. The park understands the city firefighting resources cannot manage multiple fire disasters. They use our lookout solutions to help detect runaway fire and help the firefighter to take timely actions before too late. And the national park protects itself by protecting its neighborhood farmlands, which is a great idea. There are fires in the cities almost every day. They provide us very good training data, and we can build and test our AI algorithm very frequently and improve them very quickly. We love this customer and the opportunity, and the customer love our products too. Since rollout deployed in September 2021, it helped the national park to reduce the wildfire problem. They have more time to promote their park. They use the beautiful image captured by the camera to market their city. They turn a security device into a marketing tool. They are very creative and they are very lovely. The second story is about a non-profit, Big Tree Animal Sanctuaries and Adoption Center in Hong Kong. They are located in a remote and high wildfire risk area. This is Hong Kong. The red dot is the Big Tree Animal Center location. The center is at the foothill, and the hill is a popular hiking route. Wildfire happens frequently in the surrounding area. And about 2 years ago, a wildfire outbreak on Saturday, 24 October 2020, on one side of the mountains. The weather was dry, the fire burned all the way uphill. The next day, 25th October, Sunday, the fire spread from the hilltop to the other side of the mountain and moved towards the Big Tree Animal Center. The firefighters wanted the animal center workers to evacuate. The 4 volunteer workers could not evacuate all the 150 animals by themselves. So they asked for urgent help on Facebook, and in the evening, about 200 normal citizens came to Big Tree to help. Wow, really? It was dangerous. It was unbelievable. Luckily, the wind direction changed and the fire didn't burn down the animal center. They safely evacuate all the animals, and the firefighters successfully put off the fire in a few hours later. This incident became the news headline in Hong Kong the next day, Monday, 26 October. The story impacted many people, including me. I visited them a few weeks later to discuss with them what we can help. The center was simple and beautiful, and the dogs and the cats were old and very friendly. The center told me that they don't have the money to relocate the center. They have to live with the high wildfire risk. The white building in the picture is the Big Tree Animal Center. The mountain behind it is almost all burned. One volunteer asked me, Andre, can we use your wildfire detection products? It was a great question. They need help. Their needs were humble, and we saw their needs, but they didn't have the money. There was no broadband internet, no telephone line at the animal center. And these are challenges. And I answered them, no, our product cannot help you. The solution you need doesn't exist. Let's build it together. And with the kind support from our partners, we make things happen. The support and grace were sufficient for us to deploy the first lookout beta at Big Tree. And in March 2021, we installed a camera on the rooftop of the animal center to monitor the environment. It sends photos to the cloud-based AI system, and it sends alerts to the animal center workers if it detected any wildfires via a simple mobile app. The volunteer workers told us that they use a lot of Instagram, so we build the alert app similar to Instagram, and they can learn how to use it very quickly. It is the world's first AI wildfire detection software as a service deployment running on top of a 5G cellular network. It was a team effort, and we are proud of it. The first story is the fire department of Uruguay. Uruguay is a very green and tech-savvy country. 95% of the energy source are renewables. The fire department and its IT partner, CMS, were looking for a nationwide wildfire detection systems. They contacted many wildfire detection companies in the world, including RoboticsCats. They are looking for a detection system that they can understand and control. They don't want just a AI backbone. And after many online meetings and discussions, they were interested to test our local product. And we set up a pilot system in the city of Piriapolis in late June 2021. Uruguay is our first international local deployment. The distance between Uruguay and Hong Kong is more than 18,000 kilometers. The teamwork overcame the time zone challenges and language difference. And in about 6 months' time, the single city deployment become a production system covering 5 cities. This picture shows how our lookout products works. The lookout service will provide image alert. It uses a boundary box to locate the wildfires and show the detection confidence score. We use a pentil zoom camera, surveillance camera to monitor the area in Piriapolis, 360 degrees. The firefighters and CMS tested the product rigorously. During June, July, and September 2021, then was their off seasons. They arranged the control burns in different locations, A, B, C, and different areas to test the detection performance under different landscape and environment. And we detected all the control burns within the first 50 minutes. We were all satisfied with the pilot result, and we deployed lookout to protect 5 cities. This is a very good customer testimonial. In the second week of January this year, lookout detected a wildfire outbreak at Capoponunio, one of their most famous nature reserve in Uruguay. They were happy about the product, helped them to save the forest, and we are very happy too. We work closely with this customer to improve our AI detections. For example, by varying the minimum confidence score requirement, the AI detections give different results. A 70% confidence score requirement, lookout detect nothing in this photo. If we lower the confidence score requirement to 50%, the AI will trigger an alert. Based on the risk tolerance level, lookout customer can adjust the confidence score to change the detection and alerting behavior. And we build our lookout admin portal interface to let customers to customize the product the way they want. And we are trying many new things with the customer in Uruguay, and stay tuned. Now we come back to California. The number 4 story we want to share today is Matiscan Cup, a community near the Cheung area in Lake Tahoe. There were huge wildfires in the region in the recent years. Matiscan Cup want to apply technologies to protect the areas and the nearby communities. They evaluated some solution in the markets, and they decided to use lookout. They have a multiple phase plan to deploy different technologies to mitigate the wildfire problem. The first phase is they want to deploy early detections using images from public CCTV. And we work with the customer to add that feature into lookout. Matiscan Cup is north of Lake Tahoe. There are some alert wildfire cameras. One of them is Ada Hill, and another one is Matiscan, which can see the Matiscan Cup area. We set up lookout to use the public image from these 2 cameras to detect fire. This is Matiscan Cup in the summer. There's another picture. It's beautiful. And this is winter. The area and the environment is amazing. Lookout detected a few wildfires near Matiscan Cup, and we were lucky. All of them are small fire. By working with Matiscan Cup, we gained more experience supporting HOA, homeowner associations. It was a very valuable lesson for us. It was not exactly the same we thought about a year ago, but unlike. We made an animation last year about how HOA can use logout, and I want to share with you now.
It is a hot, dry Thursday afternoon. Tom is working in the security office of the Peace HOA, ABC County, California. Tom patrols the area as usual. He gets a notification from the Report Fires app. Tom launches the Report Fires app and sees the wildfire detected by RoboticsCats Lookout Wildfire Detection software as a service. Lookout detects wildfire smoke from the images captured by the surveillance cameras. Tom calls 911 and then reports the wildfire via the Report Fires app. Members of the Peace HOA and people nearby receive the wildfire alert via the Report Fires app. Ian is working in the office. She gets a notification from the Report Fires app. She launches the Report Fires app and checks the wildfire alert. Ian leaves the office immediately. She lives in the ABC County. She goes home to save her cat. RoboticsCats Lookout Wildfire Detection software as a service saves lives. Please visit roboticscats.com for more information.
I hope you like the video. And by the way, this animation is made by Singapore startup. All these early customers make great contributions to the development of new technologies. Their needs are great inputs for our innovation design process. They help us to build the right product right. Their stories are great reference for potential customers. Around the world, and like sugarcane in Brazil, factories in Chile, electric groups in Vietnam, and wind power farm in Spain. They learn this early customer story help other customers to adopt the technologies. With the first lookout beta at Big Tree deployed in March 2021, in just about 1.5 years. Lookout wildfire detection software and service is deployed in 13 countries and helped many customers to reduce risk and losses. And we are glad that we made more winners of winner, and more winners are coming from more places. The last story we want to share today is about CITRIS, RoboticsCats, and Wildfire Fund. We find our intersections between climate resilience, technologies, and communities. I started the CITRIS engagement at the Research Exchange webinar, and I was a regular webinar attendee in the last 2 years. I joined the events to learn. The talk from Professor Ruben Narsons and Professor Crystal Coden about drought and wildfire helped me to know more about challenges in California. And then we learn more about CITRIS, and it is our pleasure to submit our host application in the CITRIS Workforce Innovation Program last summer. And we are glad that our application was accepted. 3 brilliant UC students joined us between June and August this year, which is a great experience working with the undergrads. And I'm now exploring some opportunity with Professor to apply some research funds to move forward our partnership with the CITRIS ecosystem. The interns participate in our R&D projects. They also joined us some of our customer workshops and meetings. I thank them for their great research deliverables, and I told them some of their development will be deployed in real customer environment. We saw this diagram previously. Okay, it is our lookout service. in its production form. We work with the interns to try some good R&D ideas, including to get input from live update images on website, which RoboticsCats Cup used it last summer. We also try to add microclimate information either through public API or some hardware sensor to add situational information to the detection alert. We believe early detections plus early suppressions will make a bigger impact, and we work with the students to do some research to find the geolocation of the wildfires from the images and send the data to flight system to automatically send the drones to the hotspot. We are now trying to do some pilot, with CITRIS and some university in UK. And another project, we work with the interns. A phone, an internet communicator, a camera. When we received the result that in late April that our application was successful, there will be 3 undergrads joining us in the summer. We want to send them cameras to let them have more hands-on experience working with the device, which is a bit costly and time-consuming if we send them a surveillance camera. Then we discuss with them, and we have an idea. We want to build an app to turn a smartphone into cameras. It is good for pilot purpose, it's good for demo purpose, and let the students to experience how using a physical camera to send images to an AI algorithm. We built that app and we do some pilot in California as well as in Hong Kong. And right now we are deploying that app into a real customer environment. This is Micro Nature Reserve in Hong Kong. It is 7 km northeast from Big Tree Animal Center. The view is magnificent. We work with World Wildfire to explore using AI to detect wildfires, as well as to monitor some wildlife, including migratory birds. We installed a camera system last May. It was last week. The scene is stunning. To the wild birds, the world is free and there is no border and travel control. We are working with nature reserve like Night Wildfire and many national parks around the world. We learned that many of them are in the first phase of digitizations. They convert information from analog to digital. They keep images and audio files of the natures. We are collaborating with them to move to the next phase, digitalizations, to help them work simpler and more efficient using digitized information, and such as using AI in their bird finding and counting processes. Yep, and it is a very interesting project. That said, both the NGO and us do not have the resources to install camera everywhere in the nature reserve to cover the whole area. And we have some unused smartphone. We put a few smartphones with our new app, the Lookout Cam app, installed in the nature reserve area to detect fire, as well as to detect migratory birds in close range. We learn more by putting the device in real world. We get some very interesting result, and we are now doing a similar one in Colombia. And thank you for the support from the interns. And we are now accelerated our development work, and we can now provide more features and new solutions to customers in different places. That's the 5 stories I want to share today, and thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the story and the images. I concluded my today's presentation with another beautiful images. this is our first story. The customer at RoboticsCats in mid-web pursuit. This was the camera we installed in September 2021. It is the entry-level camera and access a P1455 LE. It is about $500. The setup is simple. Some may say it is weak, but it works perfectly with its neighborhood. It is protecting an area of 32,000 acres, the buildings, the people, and the nature environment. We find it is one of the most powerful cameras on Earth. Thank you. And Q&A time.
Thank you so much for this inspiring presentation, Andre. We will open it up for questions now. And as a reminder to folks, please place your questions on the Q&A, not the chat, so the Q&A box right at the bottom of Zoom. So I'll take a look to see if questions have come in. All right, as folks might still be typing in their questions, I do have a few questions that hopefully will start us off. Andre, one question is, can your AI detection technology detect faraway wildfires? And if so, how far can it detect?
Thank you for the questions. And our record was 46 km. We detected 546 km from the camera. And our AI detections can detect close range fire as well as far range fire. And we suggest our benchmark, the sweet spot is something between 15-20 km. It is physics. If the fire is very far away, and even we at zoom level, the smoke will need to reach certain size to trigger the AI to send alert. Therefore, we will suggest the customer to place camera at the most appropriate distance, between 15 and 20 km.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for the questions. Yeah.
Then I think folks might still be there we have one question on the chat. Sorry, on the Q&A. The question from Bob says, do you know a California company called Illumination Technologies? And they mentioned that they have some fire detection towers being tested in Napa County. They suggest that might be good partners for you. So I don't know if you have a comment or response to the question there.
Yep. And thank you. And we talked to some startup and climate tech company in California as well. We know that we have it become a bigger problem in both US and many other countries. And we are talking to them to see how we can work together. And I will search Illuminations technologies to try to contact them. Thank you for the information.
Thank you very much. As folks might still be typing their questions in the Q&A, I will ask one more question on my own. So what are you, just thinking about technology development, what are you doing to improve your AI detection performance?
Thank you. And we are doing three areas to improve the detection performance. One thing is we collect, as we support more customers in different countries, we get more data. We can improve our false true positive with more data set. That's one direction. The other one is to reduce false positive. People don't want a lot of false alarm. We understand that, and by reviewing our detections, we will find out major cause of false alarm, including sun reflections. Sometimes it's a raindrop of the lens and other possible causes. And we add those false alarm data to improve our detection performance. Another area is false positive. Sometimes we will miss some fire. We don't have encountered those fire in the past, and we work with some customer to review the performance and to figure out any fire that the detection is not identified. And all these three areas is the focus we are working on to improve the AI detections.
Thank you. We have a few questions that have come in on the chat. I'll read them in the order that they were received. The first question that I see here is from Christopher, and they ask, will RoboticsCats cameras work within a base grid for detection? If so, how far away? And do the cameras interface with drones and communication hubs?
Oh, it's a good question. We are working with some energy customer to deploy our solutions to monitor fire near power line, and including the example we share in Midland. And regarding how far the camera placed, okay, we will suggest to place the camera in between, depending on topology, somewhere between 15 and 20 km. And by doing so, each camera can have some overlapping area. With an overlapping detection area, it's possible that two fires can see the same fire when it started, and then we can do some what we call triangulations from two camera location, and then to find the same fire, and then we can figure out the exact location of the fire outbreak. And regarding the drones integrations, and we are working on that directions. We believe that early detections, but early suppressions can make a bigger impact. And we are not a drones company, and we want to play a role that we can share the detection location information as soon as we detected it, and then the drones company can send the drones for close range surveillance to give more situational information to the firefighters. In the future, if the drones become more powerful, we can do some quick suppression as well. So we are exploring on that area.
Great, thank you. I see a question here from Tara Lampos. They say, could you refer any other companies acting in this business worldwide? And then they mention maybe as competitors.
Good questions. There are a few ones. In our sector, there are companies developing technologies to address the wildfire problem. I can name a few ones. There are companies focusing on camera-based solutions, including us, as well as Panel.ai in California. And then in Africa, there's another one called the EVS. We are all focusing on using camera to do detections. There are also companies using satellite technologies, using remote sensing to find fire, such as Orotech, based in Germany. And there is company using IoT sensor as well. I talked to some in Latvia and in Germany as well. There's these yes. I hope I answered your questions. Yeah.
The next question comes from Christopher, and the question asks, does RoboticsCats interface with communication and videos with first responder fire services confirmed by drones or infrared sensors?
Our system can talk to, we use API to talk to some first responder communication system. We have a default alert messaging system, through email or through our own apps. For some customer, if they have their own messaging platform, we can share with them the alert through API, and then they can using their existing platform for messaging. Regarding the drones for infrared, and that's an area we are now exploring. We learned that a drone's application using infrared sensor is a good way to detect the perimeter of a fire spread. And again, we want to support them by informing them early detections so that they can send drones quickly and then provide earlier surveillance information to the firefighter.
Thank you very much for that answer. The next question from Kathleen, what maintenance is necessary after installations? It's a very important question about maintaining the system. So what maintenance is necessary after installation? Do the lens need to be cleaned periodically, for example? And they mentioned that they saw a solar panel at the bottom of the camera. So what is the power source? And are batteries used in these remote locations?
Oh, it's a very practical questions. For camera deployed near wireless interface, we may have power source, and then we can use standard power supply to power up the camera. There are occasions, the area of interest we want to customer want to protect is a big forest, and there's no power infrastructure, there's no telecom network. For those situations, likely we need to install renewable energy source, such as a solar power panel to power up the cameras as well as the communication gears. And regarding the maintenance, we will suggest to use a camera with wiper, so that we can remote control it to clean the lens. We need the better the data, the better performance of the AI detections. With the wiper, we can clean the lens, remove raindrops and dirt. It is very useful. And other than that, we will suggest our customer to do annual maintenance to test the system before a fire season started, as well as to do some control runs under safe situations to test the performance, as well as to make sure all the gears, the cameras, the communication networks are working as expected.
Great, thank you. Great question. The next question asks, how difficult is it to enable communication without drones? And then they mentioned that base stations are difficult to deploy in the forest.
If I understand the question correctly, okay, it's about how we can communicate with drone flight system. And again, we need a network. We need a network system between our system and the drone flight system. And at the moment, we are exploring some pilot in with CITRIS and with some partners in UK. And with the pilot location we selected, we have some network coverage. That's part one. Part two, regarding base station. Yes, it's difficult to deploy network in forests. Most of the time, we don't have any cellular coverage. For those occasions, we will work with partners to deploy microwave network system. We need tower as well in some occasions, and repeater to connect the cameras through the repeaters, and then they can send back the information to the cloud or to the customer own management system. Yes, I hope my answer can help you. Yeah.
Great, thank you. As folks might still be typing up, we still have time. We still have about 15 minutes or so, a little bit less than that, but a good amount of time if folks still have questions or comments for our speaker. And while folks might still be trying to compile those questions, I do have a few of my questions to ask in the meantime. One question is, Andre, what can help the market to accelerate adoption of wildfire detection technologies?
Thank you for these questions. And we believe event like this CITRIS Research Exchange event is a very good media for staff like us to communicate the new technologies. In the last few years, there are many new startups providing different solutions to address a flooding problem, wildfire problem, and other kind of new solutions. And it is, from a staff perspective, it is challenging to communicate the new ideas. With platform like this, CITRIS Research Exchange, it can help us to share our technologies, share how other customers are using it. So which is a good way. The other approach you try to accelerate adoption is to help customers to test it more easily. And both of the climate test solution involve sensor, and it is challenging to deploy sensor in a remote area. That's a reason why we are exploring to use cell phone, which is very accessible to help customers to experience camera-based technologies to detect fires. So there's two dimensions, make it more easy for pilot and testing. And we actively participate in more event like this to share the customer story and technologies.
Great, thank you. And I see that folks have started to or restarted to answer questions on the Q&A. So I'll read from the list. Christopher thanks you for the talk, and also asks a very interesting question in how did you decide to work on this important problem?
Wow, okay. A interesting question. Okay, my background is from more on telecom and software as a service. I was very lucky. I met my partners, the co-founders, 4 years ago in a AI event, and they share with the audience, okay, how we can apply computer visions, camera, and AI to detect disaster like wildfire outbreak. And then at that time, I find it's a pretty good idea. And then I talked to them to explore, okay, what we can do. And I'm glad that my business development experience can help them to turn a technical idea into a product. And that's why we're here today, and to build that solution to help customers.
Great, thank you. A question here from Xiao. Have you considered optimizing the coverage of the cameras, and how do you deal with scalability of the cameras? And would you elaborate a bit more on how integrated the public camera networks in alert wildfire that have sparse but large camera deployment?
Okay, well, it is a great question. I try to answer it in 3 bullet points. From the lookout perspective, every camera is a distinct entity, and the system will process the images and detections independently. And the system design can support thousands of cameras simultaneously. That's how we build the detection platform. Regarding managed cameras, we work with a few camera vendors. They are in the industry for a long time, and they have a what we call it a VMS, video management system, that can manage the cameras, manage how they move, manage how their zoom level, as well as how they store images. And by working with existing camera platform, we can have a very solid product. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, and we will use that platform to manage camera as a hardware device. That's the second area. And then regarding the question about public cameras, there are many public CCTV systems around the world. Some of them will provide live images over the web, on the web. Some will update more frequently, every 15 seconds. Some will be maybe 5 to 10 minutes. We are exploring to use our detections to apply on those images. And we are at the early stage. We are now in the beta stage. And the experience we learn is it is more effective if we are to apply our detection on fixed camera. The fixed camera means the view are the same. Of course, it will change during the daytime, but the background, the environment, the building are the same. Some camera, if they move when we go to get their images, because the time we get the images the camera will move. So we have no at the moment. It's a challenge for us to get the images and then to apply some masks on the background environment. We are working on this. So for PTC camera, it's more challenging, because fixed camera performance is quite promising.
Great, thank you.
For the question.
And we do have time for more questions. So if folks still have some questions they'll like to ask, please feel free to add them to the Q&A. I'll read the ones that we already have on the Q&A. And the next one is from Kathleen. And they ask, is your software capable of determining what is burning? For example, is it on the ground, leaves, for example, or a building?
Okay, this is good questions. And we mainly use forest fires to train the AI. And most of the forest fires, the fire looks, the smoke are more white and gray, light gray in color. And we are also working on some project to train the AI model using fire images from burning infrastructure and constructions. Those fire, the images, the smoke are more in dark gray or black color. And we are trying to apply both algorithm on the same images and to detect different kind of fires. One algorithm focusing on detect wildfires, and other algorithm is trying to detect fire from burning machinery and construction material. And that's an area we are exploring, and to use the system to protect the nature environment as well as expensive infrastructure.
Thank you. Thank you. We have another question here from Bob, and they ask, have you talked to any insurance companies? They mentioned that many of them are no longer willing to insure houses in wildfire-prone areas, and then they also make a comment there about the high insurance rates, premiums.
Thank you for the questions. We do talk to some insurance company in both Asia and in US. We learned from the news that a lot of insurance company have difficult time to support customer because of the increasing wildfire risk and the increasing amount of insurance claim. And some of them, they want to help their customer to continue the policy, and they are looking for solutions including private firefighters, including automatical water spring system to help putting out the fire faster, as well as exploring how AI detections can support the community. Yeah.
Great, thank you. And there's one more question that I'd like to ask, and that's thinking about, I think, from the education perspective, the fact that you participate in the CITRIS Workforce Innovation program, and maybe folks here in the audience are can participate or curious about how to participate. So I was wondering, how did you find the program?
Well, okay. Again, we are very lucky that we participate in the Workforce Innovation Program, and we start joining the Research Exchange program. So we subscribe to the newsletter, and as well as we are part of the Santa Cruz work community, and they share information about events and programs in the Santa Cruz regions. And we read some newsletter that there is a internship program, the CITRIS Workforce Innovation Program this summer, and then we try to contact CITRIS team to learn more about that, to see if a company in different time zone can participate in it. And we believe we did add some unique values to the students. How a climate tech in Asia we operate, as well as how the customer in outside of US they are looking for the solutions. And I believe it is a good experience for both RoboticsCats as a company as well as the interns during the summer program.
Great, thank you. And I think we have time for one more question here, and I see something came in on the Q&A, and they mentioned this question from Christopher, and they mentioned that the California Association of Realtors has required a fire hardening disclosure to be signed by homeowners in rural areas prone to high fire risk as part of real estate sales transactions. And they're asking, is your company working with government bodies or policy organizations? And I assume within the context of this new requirement.
It's a great question. We are learning that. We are engaging different stakeholders to see what we can do. And then, for example, Cal Fire, they have an innovation team to talk to different startup companies to explore new technologies. And there are many different organizations working on different aspects. And we are learning it. And this is a very different market when compared to Hong Kong and Asia. We are in the exploration process. And we participate in events like this to share as well as to learn and to meet new people and new potential partners.
Great, thank you. As we start to get closer to the end, Andre, are there any other comments or things you might want to mention as we close up the talk?
Again, thank you for having me today, and it's an exciting opportunity to share what we are doing, and we are learning how we can contribute and to help in the US market. Please feel free to ping me through LinkedIn or through email, and if you want to try our solutions, it's very easy. As long as you have a used cell phone, you can try our detection. And again, and also thank you for Jeanette to help me in today's webinar. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Well, Andre, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for the talk, and thank you all for all the listeners who joined in today, for taking their valuable time also to join in on this webinar. And thank you for participating. It was a very active webinar today. We had a lot of great questions. So thank you for everyone who put their questions on the Q&A. Well, thank you, everyone. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Yes, have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.